name Jugg, better known as. And talking about the old days when we used to get together and hang out on 83rd. Me and my homeboy Big Chill. Boy, we used to have some sessions. We talking about hanging out. Boy, we used to, I mean, just live that life, man. You know, because everything was right there. We had everything we ever needed. We ain't had to want nothing, beg for nothing, ask for nothing. It was always there. I had the little shorties and everything, but it was just like the house we had on 83rd, it was like for everybody. Cause we cooked and we fed the old people that stayed around there. We ain't had no problems. We ain't never had no gunplay. We ain't never had nothing. But if somebody got out of hand, then if they wanted it, you know, they could have went that way too. But we were just like, I mean, just like we ain't had nothing to worry about, you know. And whatever we wanted to do, we done, you know. We brought all that there and brought snow to the park, you know. You can see the kids how they enjoy things, you know. When you're getting money, if you're getting money, you got to do things like this, you know, for the community where you know, not be remembered, I say, but you know, you won't be an enemy with the community, you know. That's how we last, you know, because we always gave back. Myself, you know, I went through a lot. You know, I lost my son at the age of 17 by me being on the news and everything, and putting up a $15,000 extra $1,000 reward. You know, I guess people try to, you know, like take advantage of that there, you know. But like that was my firstborn son, and whatever I had, whatever he was worth, whatever I had, I was giving it out. But by me advertising that there, 2 weeks after I buried my son, I got shot 7 times. And I lost a kidney, I lost both of my legs, and I lost half of my intestine. But, you know, like I can say, it's a God out here, because God didn't let me down. You know, my life was a centimeter, you know, just a centimeter from me bleeding out, but God directed that bullet somewhere else. I guess he wanted me to be here for this reason, to see what happened and the things, you know, you go through and everything. But it all turned out greed, you know, because my downfall was really people who I looked out for, you know. And by me being in the hospital, I'm letting my nephews and them take over and, you know, do their thing, you know. Hey, y'all go right ahead. I can't do nothing now, so, you know, that's on y'all. But they got greedy. They said, fuck me in the end, you know. Soon they walked out the hospital, I guess they went to laughing and said, fuck me. So I ended up losing a lot, but like I said, God there for a reason, because at that time, the feds was watching. And every last one of them who crossed me out, they got indicted, you know. And by me being in the hospital, that kept me away, you know. That's why I say I do believe in this God out here. And you know, it's hard out here when you're trying to do things like it is, because my whole life has been changed. You know, I'm not the same person to stand up, not the same person to dance, you know, to go out. You lose a lot, you know. You lose a lot of friends behind it. You lose girlfriends you've been in long relationships behind it, because they look at you as a disability. But I got life. That's all I'm worrying about, you know. I got my life.